Oh, well, minus Fox rides up. They didn't have a Fox, and I need to get I want to get the actual size like Buzz Lightyear and like Woody toys as well, because like they sell them at like the Disney store, and they sell like certain versions of them at Target, but I want like the quote unquote like ones that are like almost like exactly from the movie. But in any case, yesterday I actually saw Toy Story 4, which I guess probably be 2 days maybe for this one, I don't know. But I saw Toy Story 4, which was honestly a really awesome movie. It was a really fun movie. I loved it. And I want to do, 5 likes and 5 dislikes of this movie, which I'll say, like, there are, like, I guess the dislikes are a little bit more nitpicky-ish. Some of them. One of them is one that I actually really dislike, but in any case, I just want to, give my thoughts on this and, see what you guys think, because obviously, I love toys, and I love the Toy Story series, even though there was a time where I once thought I heard my toys talking. Not here, it was, like, when I was, like, 10, 9. My father was playing SOCOM, and the voices that came out of his mic sounded like they were coming from upstairs in my room, so it freaked me the hell out. And I was like, my toy's alive? And that kind of freaked me the hell out, even though at some point I was like, but dang it, that's sad. Anyways, my 5 likes and dislikes of Toy Story 4. And like again, just a quick list. I won't try to spoil anything. FYI, I won't try to spoil anything. Anyways, first 5 likes. 1, the evolution of some of the first CGI, or actually the first full cast of CGI animated characters, or CGI animated characters. Because what is it? Toy Story was the very first movie to be that first CGI movie. And honestly, it is cool seeing characters from literally the beginning of these types of movies, the very beginning of CGI movies. Yeah, Tron had live action with CGI, but these were the first fully CGI characters and everything. And that being said, it's really awesome seeing the characters from the very beginning, the beginning of CGI movie history, basically, if not first beginning of that, and then seeing them progress all the way till now, where it's modern day stuff. And I don't know. I doubt this movie will age badly, because the animation's really, really good, and really I think only animation that ages badly is like the very early stuff. But this movie is really good in that remark of CGI and graphics. It is a beautiful thing, and even then they added some stuff which I think like they kind of missed in part 3, where I don't know, maybe I already watch it, but some points you see different things, like Woody's arm that he was ripped off in Toy Story 2 and then sewed back by Andy. You actually see the stitching in it again from that, and I don't think you see that in part 3. But you do see it in Kingdom Hearts, FYI, which Kingdom Hearts Toy Story World is one of my favorite worlds in part 3. And obviously the voice acting is really good. The people who reprise their role. Apparently Mr. Potato Head actually died, the voice actor, so sad on that, but still. 2 of my second likes, the return of Bo Peep. Bo Peep was awesome, and like obviously now Disney is trying to do the whole like female empowerment kind of thing with like a lot of their stories and stuff like that. Hence why Ray, Ray, even though Elastigirl was always still a big part, but Elastigirl, like Incredible Suit really is a lot her thing, at least the action parts. And in this, it's Bo Peep. In this, and also not saying this for the other ones also, but in this, it doesn't feel forced making this character who was like Sheriff Sheriff Woody. I thought that was freaking cool. I always loved like the whole hooked staff thing, but Sheriff Woody, like instead of it just being like her being the female girl wearing pink, they actually do make her kind of a badass, which is freaking awesome. And it is reason why, because again, like she's kind of hasn't had a kid for years, and she's kind of grown a lot tougher over those it's been maybe 7 to 10 years maybe. I'm not entirely sure when she disappeared after Toy Story 3, because Toy Story 2 I believe she was there. Toy Story 3 she kind of disappeared. And I think there is like a throwaway line on why she's gone, that she got sold off or whatever. But this is actually, it's really cool seeing her back. It's cool seeing her back for one, and she's a badass, which is, she's like really cool. And also, like, back to the graphics, she is beautiful. Like, the graphics on her are goddamn beautiful, and I love it. Like, just seeing everything, I'm like, oh my god, this is like, she's like a walking piece of art. And it's amazing, beautiful. Even though although I think I remember in the original ones that Bo Peep's clothing was also glass. Maybe I'm getting that wrong, and I just got to rewatch the movies, the original ones, because I got to do that at some point. I got to rewatch it, but I'm pretty sure like all of her clothes were glass, and now like they're cloth on top of it, which, okay, I don't mind. Also, I've noticed in line with Pixar, even though Pixar, like Miss Incredible always had this, Bo Peep has a big butt. And I'm like, huh. I'm looking at them. But they're like, they make sure these female characters look female. And it is kind of funny watching. I'm like, huh, Pixar has a style. It's freaking great. I love it. Okay, so 3, how the toys are basically like the kids' secret kind of guardians and stuff like that, which I don't really think you see this a lot more in. Maybe you do. Maybe I have to just rewatch it. Because the other ones, like Toy Story 1, 2, and 3, are, I believe, really more focused, obviously, on the toys, on them being, on them, like, surviving being toys, and, like, having to deal, obviously, with, the person leaving, or having to cross long treks by themselves, stuff like that, and, like, be separated from their kids, yeah. But in this, it is like a bit more like they're almost kind of like guardians for these kids. And I actually really like that, especially like the beginning part of the movie, which again is like the first 10 minutes, where like Woody goes to school with Bonnie, and like the kids are kind of mean to her. Like they say, "Oh, make your pencil holders, kids." And one kid kind of goes, just takes all like the crafting things from her, and she's just sitting there alone, sad on the table. I'm like, oh, so god damn it. The animation on the kids is much better now compared to way back when. But honestly, like Woody like sneaks around, grabs some stuff from like the garbage that like the kid dropped in there, and like tosses it up to Bonnie and stuff like that without her noticing. And I'm like, god damn it, like it's so freaking awesome. And even stuff like where like when they talk about their kid, they talk about them not really like, like, oh, this is my master. And so like, no, obviously not. That would be really bad. Even though it's something, but yeah, like, it is more along the lines of, no, like they're talking about like their actual kid. Like, they're the parent and that's their child. That's kind of how like Woody at least talks about like Andy and stuff like that, and Bonnie as well and stuff like that. And it's really cool. I like that. The character, like, it is a little bit more showing like how kind of they kind of see their kids, and this is more on how, like, why do they need to get back to their kid because of this, because of that, and it's really fun. It's really cool. I like that, and it's very endearing and heartwarming, and I love that stuff. And like you can even see that for now, where like even like what he says, like you see them when they're young, you see them grow up, and eventually you see them like leave you and stuff like that. Like that is very much like how I'm pretty sure a lot of parents would say like having a kid is, and I like them. That's just freaking cool. So you have that bit on note for like kids like, oh, my toys, and then on the kid for parents also. So it's a much deeper message. For characters I thought would annoy the hell out of me, even though I put Forky on this list, even though Forky honestly isn't all that annoying. I didn't think he'd be all that annoying, but characters that I really thought would be annoying the hell out of me are like the carnival stuffed animals, like the duck voiced by Jordan Peele, and the rabbit, which I forget who the hell voiced him. Sorry. I thought they would be annoying as hell. I thought like, oh, these are the modern like side comedy characters, and it gets fucking annoying. No, these characters actually are pretty. Even though I didn't know Duke Kaboom was Keanu Reeves until like a couple days ago, and I was like, holy crap, that's amazing. I love that Neo's doing all this. But no, like these characters are they're used nicely. They're used perfectly fine. They're not kept on screen too long where they're annoying as all hell. Even though I can see them pulling an Olaf at some point. Like, even Olaf I didn't really hate in Frozen. I really hate Olaf in Kingdom Hearts because they overused the hell out of him, and also because of the short in front of Coco, because fuck that. Literally, people were so annoyed by him that they pulled that short out of front of Coco. But, yeah, the stuffed animals weren't that bad. Even, like, a lot of the jokes are, even background things. Like, at some points where, like, they're sneaking around, and, like, all the characters, like, sliding down a pole, like, and you just see the stuffed animal go, just fall from the ground, hit it, and, like, they don't make noise because they're stuffed animals. They're like, and also, they really do look like those stuffed animals with, like, those sparkly eyes, and, like, the neon colors that hurt your eyes. They actually really look like those cheap stuffed animals, like, huh. The only thing that didn't look like how they usually would look in quote-unquote our world, it would be, I think, Forky's, like, pipe washer hands and stuff like that. I'm like, that was a little too fuzzy and soft to be actual pipe buzzers. Because I've made toys. Way back when, I used to try to make toys with those pipe cleaners and all that stuff. It's still, sorry, but, like, I always love the idea of trying to make my own toys. And hell, I went to, like, the Chicago Museum for Kids, and, like, they were like, oh, here, make your own toys. And all that. They used, like, old McDonald's toys, like, I think those robot ones, and, like, I would put pipe cleaners to give, like, the T-Rex, like, long arms and stuff like that. It's really kind of cool. Yeah, like, it's still a very fun... It was still cool. The characters that I thought I would hate or thought would get annoying didn't actually get annoying or hate from me. So, thumbs up on that. Number 5. They're not afraid to hurt the main characters. And also to have them grow and change. Characters that we've seen... Because, again, like, there is kind of like the whole... the idea of the hero's journey. And I kind of hate this idea... of that, basically the hero's journey is a circle where character starts on this, there's a problem, they grow strong to solve the problem, and back up to where they kind of began. I don't, like, I get that and it's cool, but I always hate the idea of the character always ends right back where they started. And maybe, like, maybe I am misinterpreting that in some sense, but I probably even, like, fucked up how to say the hero's journey, but in the way I see it, like, they should never end up at the exact same point from where they last left off, or where they began the story. They should never end back up there. And in this movie, it doesn't do that. At least for me, it doesn't do that. Like, certain characters kind of do, but these characters all, and even then, no, because they still grow and evolve. And certain big changes do happen in this movie that kind of would change a lot of these movies later on. Will there be a part 5? I could see there being a part 5, but not as a sequel, but more kind of Monster University, which I haven't seen Monster University fully, so good or bad. I see this more like they could really do a prequel to back when Andy was a very little kid, because they bring Andy up as a little kid a lot. I could definitely see that happening, but in this, if they go forward with it and they make like a part 5, I would want to see how, because the ending is kind of like, I don't really see how you could kind of make a part 5 unless you're going to be missing some very important characters. So, with that, and also they also build a little bit on that side note, also with characters not being the same towards the end. Certain characters actually, like, they actually kind of build on Toy Story lore a bit, where, like, oh, if your arm is severed, that arm is kind of dead, but if you kind of reattach it back, it's fine. Like, yeah, like, it's like stuff like that. Like, you could hot glue the thing, and, like, it would still work at the end as a regular arm. So, like, cool. I kind of like how they kept that idea and stuff. But yeah, those are my 5 likes. There's probably a lot more, but, you know, those are my 5 likes in general term. But then these are my 5 dislikes. These are the things where this is a lovely movie, and I love this movie to all hell. It almost made me cry. It didn't make me cry like Coco did. Coco made me cry the hell out of the theater. This one made me like where I was starting to tear up, but I didn't ever fully cried. These are my 5 dislikes, though. Then my number 1 dislike of this is that Buzz seems to be a lot dumber in this movie where like there's a kind of like a running joke where like Woody says like because he has to keep Forky basically from throwing himself away, which is really funny. But like he tells Buzz at one point like I can't let you take shit because I have to do this myself because he basically has to prove stuff. He's like the little voice inside me wouldn't let me live with myself if I let someone else do this. And Buzz is like your inner voice, and he thinks he's talking about Woody's speaker box, which symbolism in the movie later on, I guess. But he thinks about Woody's talking about his like inner speaking box, and all I'm thinking and like all of me is like I feel like Buzz would be smart enough to know that he's not talking about his inner box. With Buzz later on, like every time he's had a decision, he presses like his voice box so he can hear what his like voices say, his voice box says. So that way then he's like, huh, that's what I should do, inner voice. I'm like, I don't feel like Buzz would be that stupid. Maybe I have to rewatch all the movies, and maybe, yeah, he was always this stupid. But like, the first movie, it kind of makes sense, like, oh, he thinks he's actually a space ranger because, you know, it's kind of, I guess, jarring for a certain thing, for like toys that kind of just come out of like the packaging. And like, even Toy Story, even Kingdom Hearts 3 kind of plays around with that a bit, which is really cool too. But yeah, he just feels a lot dumber in this one. He feels more like he's like kind of like the butt of the joke for a lot of this. And I'm like, I don't really know why he did that. 2, Jessie, like Woody's basically Buzz's kind of girlfriend and Woody's like female counterpart. I feel like she should have been a little bit more active. Like, she has one scene that's kind of good when, like, they need to stall for something. But other than that, she's not really present in that. And again, mind you, I did miss, like, the first 5 minutes in the beginning of this movie. So maybe there's a whole scene, like, oh, like, I might need your help one day or something like that. But, or, like, you might be the one, like, whatever. Something along those lines. Maybe I missed that bit. But I didn't, like, I did miss, like, the first 5 minutes. Actually, probably even less than that. But I like, and like there's especially like a very, especially because, but like I never really felt like she was that big of an impact or big of a thing in this, or like she had to really learn something or something along those lines. Because then like by the end, like there's an end scene where it's like, oh, that's a nice gesture, but also unless again the first 5 minutes set this up and I missed it because I was late to the theater, I don't really see why. Like I'm like, oh, that's a nice gesture, but it could have had a way more better impact if you would have done this instead. Or set this up a little bit earlier. 3, dislikes the main cast of toys like Slinky, Rex, even though Rex pops up every so often. Potato Head, which I guess maybe the voice actor died, so, you know, they couldn't do it. But, a lot of the main cast does feel like they're kind of pushed in the background in turn for this new cast from Bonnie's toys. Which, not saying that it's bad, even though hearing the voice of Mabel coming out of that T-Rex, I'm just like, or the Triceratops, I'm just like, but it was like kind of like, okay, what, okay, but like they kind of just pushed him in the back, and yeah, that's more nitpicky, I guess. For there is like, there's a running gag, kind of, it's like in 5 minutes, so that we're like, there's like a high five gag where like this one guy does get high fives, and I would have liked, like, there is like a payoff to it, kind of. It's more like an moment. I'm like, it would have been cool if it was like and a heck yeah kind of moment, like something like big during the climax that like this was like resolved. This joke was resolved, but it was kind of just it's cool, but yeah, it's all right. And last one, 5, because Gabby is, I guess, the kind of the new bad guy. She first off feels kind of like the bad guy of part 3, where it's like the old bear and he runs this one daycare and stuff like that. In this case, she runs this antique store, kind of these antiquities and stuff. And watching that, I'm kind of like, like she is still a good bad guy. I'm not saying anything. It's nothing against her, but like she has like she has these dummies, which are like her like pawn. These are her minions, stuff like that. And there is kind of like a whole thing where like each character kind of finds their quote unquote place where they kind of have to belong, where they kind of belong. These dummies kind of like disappear towards like the ending of the third act. They kind of just completely disappear, not brought up again. I guess they're just left to die somewhere or something like that. And I'm just like, that again, nitpicky, but it is kind of like, you know, you could have resolved that a little bit more somehow. Like, I don't know, maybe a ventriloquist buys them. Maybe you get a cameo from Jeff Dunham buying these dummies or some shit. Something. Like, you could have done a little bit more, but, like, they kind of just, like, are used as a throwaway gag towards the end, and then, like, they kind of just disappear from the movie. And it's just, like, I feel like you could have done a little bit more with them, if anything. Or show that they went with these certain characters. But no, they kind of just disappears. Alright. But, yeah, that's my 5 likes and dislikes of Disney's new movie, Toy Story 4. They set this up to be like kind of the ending of Toy Story, but so did Toy Story 3. So who the hell knows if there's going to be a Toy Story 5. If they do Toy Story 5, it would not surprise me if they're actually going to do a prequel, and they're going to go way back before Buzz, before, because if you think about it, all these movies really are about Woody. Though I think a lot of these are a lot to do about Woody, and yeah, they are the other ones, but Woody is kind of the main star, so it wouldn't be surprising if they do go all the way back to when Andy was a very little kid, when he first got Woody. Like, maybe we'll get the origins of Woody where, like, I don't know, he was given to Andy by his dad. And hell, like, they even kind of say, like, Woody doesn't remember where he was made, and stuff like that. And, like, all I think is, like, because, like, they even say, like, some people have guessed that, like, I guess maybe, like, the kids' love in these toys, which, again, Kingdom Hearts 3 kind of brought this up, where it's, like, the love of the kids kind of puts their heart, or kind of gives these toys life. So, in that same event, Woody probably didn't get life until he was given to Andy. And, like, maybe, like, he was just, like, a toy that was made in the 50s, apparently, but somehow it made it to 90s? And somehow was still perfectly somehow was still, you know, alive. Like, it wasn't brought to life until Andy. I don't know. The movie was awesome, though. I did like it. Again, the 5 dislikes were a bit nitpicky. The one biggest I disliked was maybe the one with Buzz being a lot dumber and Jessie kind of not feeling like they set her up a lot well. But I don't know. But tell me what you think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you're videos I've done, links are on my Facebook somewhere. Please check out Toy Story 4. It's a really good movie. Check out my videos, and we will. No! Deku! See you later. Also, that sounds like the goat from Spyro. Spyro! Actually, I have like the better. I have like the classic Spyro down there, but like it's like under a bunch of stuff, so I'm like, nah.